In Kalispell, when people ask me where to live, I tell them that it depends on what they're optimizing for. In Whitefish, it depends on what they can afford, and that's not a joke. The neighborhoods here are not separated by lifestyle as much as they're separated by price tier. And within each tier, what you actually get is very different. So let's walk through it. 9 areas, what they're for, and roughly what you'll pay in each one. So first off, downtown Whitefish. This is the walkable core area. Central Avenue, Baker, the historic district, older homes, some new infill condos and townhouses, and a handful of penthouse units above businesses. If you live here, you want to walk to dinner, walk to the brewery, walk to City Beach in the summer. You don't live here if you want elbow room or a yard. The price range is wide because the housing stock is wide. Older bungalows can start in the upper 600s. New construction condos and the higher end downtown units run well over $1 million. One thing worth noting is that downtown is one of the few areas in Whitefish where short-term rentals are permitted. So if your buying decision involves Airbnb income, downtown is on the short list, the very short list. So now let's move on. Next subdivision is Iron Horse. Iron Horse is a private gated golf community on about 800 acres on the west side of the lake. Tom Fazio designed the course. There's about 316 home sites total, and it consistently posts some of the highest price per square foot numbers in the entire Flathead Valley. This is the trophy address. Custom homes, bigger lots, mountain and lake views, full club amenities, golf, spa, pool, tennis, clubhouse dining. The entry point here is around $4 million, and most of the inventory sits between 5 and 10. And buying a home here doesn't guarantee a membership to the golf community, just FYI. This is not the neighborhood for first-time home buyers unless you just inherited a lot of dollar bucks. Let's move on. Whitefish Lake. These are arguably the most expensive residential properties in most of Montana. Direct lake frontage, private docks, beaches in the right spots, and views that don't need to be sold. East Lakeshore is the more established side. Older estates, mature trees, some original family compounds. The West Lakeshore has more modern builds and tends to attract newer luxury buyers. You're not getting onto Whitefish Lake for less than $3 million. Most of what trades is in the 5 to 15 million range, and waterfront with newer custom homes can run well above that. Next is up the hill, Big Mountain, Whitefish Mountain Resort area. These are your ski in, ski out, chalet, cabins, condos, and a handful of high-end estates closer to the lifts. You walk out your door and you're skiing. Entry point is the condos, and those can start in the mid 600s for smaller units. Cabins and chalets run in the 1.5 to 3 million, and the premium ski in, ski out positions are higher. 2 things to note here. 1, short-term rentals are permitted in the majority of the resort zone, which is why a lot of buyers up here are running it as a vacation rental when they're not in town. 2, this is definitely a seasonal lifestyle. Some buyers love that. Some find out in March that they've never spent that much time in the snow. Next section, Grouse Mountain. So Grouse Mountain and the golf course area. This is the residential pocket between downtown and the resort off of Highway 93 West. Established neighborhood, larger lots than downtown, quieter than the resort area, and close enough to both that you don't have to pick. There's mostly single-family homes, some on larger lots. Price range usually from $700K for condos or townhouses and up to $5 million depending on the size and the view. Next section, the Wisconsin Avenue corridor. So Wisconsin Avenue itself, the corridor between downtown and the ski hill. In this, there's a mix of older neighborhoods, some newer infill, some commercial. This is where you'll find some of the more accessible price points still inside the city limits. Homes in the low 700s to low millions, depending on age and the lot. Crestwood is a neighborhood in that area that allows for short-term rentals. I should also note that the Quarry development, which features newer condos, is also located here, and this subdivision also allows short-term rentals. Next is Whitefish Hills and Whitefish Hills Village. You can access Whitefish Hills either west of town or south of town. Newer construction, larger homes on larger lots. The Hills is gated and features mostly 10 to 20 acre parcels. Whitefish Hills Village features mostly 2 to 5 acre lots and newer construction. You're looking at about $2.5 million in here for most of what it trades at. The newer high-end builds on larger acreages can get up into the 10 to 20 million range. Next, the lakes. This one's its own product. It's east of downtown, off River Lakes Parkway, right past North Valley Hospital. It shares the entrance with the Montera condos. What makes the lakes distinct is in its name. The development has a system of small canals and ponds that wind through the neighborhood. These are paddle-friendly, kayak-friendly, and most of the homes are either on the water or a short walk from it. You don't see that anywhere else in Whitefish at this price point. It's a planned community with mostly single-family homes. There's a mix of some townhomes and some newer custom builds. Most of the homes sit on a quarter to half acre, not acreage, but enough to feel separated. There's also a clubhouse with an outdoor pool and other amenities. Price range generally runs from the low 800s on the townhomes up into the $2.5 million range for some of the larger builds. A few of the higher end newer ones push past this. The buyer here is usually somebody who wants to be in Whitefish proper, close to the hospital, close to downtown, close to the trail systems, but doesn't need the Iron Horse exclusivity or want to be 20 minutes outside of town on acreage. It's one of the strongest mid-tier in-town neighborhoods in Whitefish, and the water throughout the development gives it a real identity. Next up, the last one, outside of city limits. So Whitefish is small, 20 minutes in any direction, and you're on real acreage. Areas like Beaver Lake, Skiles Lake, Blanchard Lake, Haskell Basin, the corridors out towards Olney, Columbia Falls, and Farm to Market. This is where you go if you want privacy, a shop, animals, and no neighbors close enough to hear. You give up walkability and you trade in for land. The price range is enormous because the lot sizes are enormous. A modest home on a few acres can start around $700,000. A serious ranch property with a custom home and 20 plus acres is 3 to 10 million and on up. For a lot of my Whitefish buyers, this is where the right house actually is. They think they want Iron Horse, and once they see what acreage just outside town gets them at the same price point, they change their mind. So there it is, 9 areas, 9 different buyers. Downtown for walkability and short-term rental potential, Iron Horse for the trophy property, Lakeshore Drive if you want the lake and the price doesn't matter, Big Mountain for ski access, Grouse Mountain if you want a foot in both worlds, Wisconsin Avenue for value inside the city, the lakes if you want in town with water throughout the neighborhood, and outside of town if what you really want is land. None of these is the best neighborhood. The best neighborhood is the one that matches what you're actually trying to do here. If you are thinking about Whitefish and you're not quite sure where to start, my Flathead Valley Relocation Guide breaks the whole valley down. Schools, taxes, climate, the works. The link is in the description. I'm Corey Olofson with Coldwell Banker Mountain Properties. If a specific neighborhood is on your short list and you want the real version, not the brochure version, reach out. I live here. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos. And if you have a topic you'd like me to cover, drop it in the comments below.